Hello and welcome to another video. So I've been playing through the newly released Forza Horizon 5 DLC called Rally Adventure. So I didn't even know this was coming out. I don't know if they just didn't put any marketing behind it or if I was just a bit oblivious, but I noticed it advertised on the Xbox kind of homepage and jumped immediately on it because I'm a big Forza Horizon fan. So I thought I'd just do a quick review. I've completed the DLC, I've played all the way through it, and I ended up recording some footage at the beginning just because I had everything set up, so I thought I may as well record some, so I've got some footage to go with it as well. So yeah, very quick review, just kind of some overview impressions and whether I'd recommend it. So, as the name of the DLC suggests, this is Rally focused DLC. And when I first saw it, I was a bit underwhelmed, and the title I mean by that, and I didn't really know what to expect because there's already kind of like cross-country rally racing in the base game. But I'm pleased to say, having played through the entirety of the DLC, I'm very happy with what they've produced here and had a really good time all the way through. So it is rally racing, but they've taken it to kind of the purest form. So it's a style of racing that can't be found in the base game. So you have the option, which I definitely recommend, to turn off the kind of braking line assistance, which tells you when to brake and what line to take, to turn that off and use actual navigator callouts as you would in a kind of true rally game. So I definitely recommend doing this. It gives you a completely different experience to the main game. So you're not racing anymore. You do still have the option to have it as a normal race if you'd like, but I played through the entirety of the DLC in rally mode, and so you're by yourself, so effectively it's a time trial, but there's checkpoints throughout each level, each race, which will let you know how you're faring against everyone else you're competing at. So you're by yourself, but it is kind of a race, and you'll find yourself appearing in fourth and trying to kind of push that up to third, second, first kind of thing as you go through. So the other main thing to discuss is the map. So when I first started up the DLC, I was pretty underwhelmed with the map, to be honest. It looks stunning, as they always do, graphically, design-wise, fidelity, the vegetation, the kind of landscapes and everything all look really good, but it's quite similar to the base game. So I wasn't blown away. It's not like Hot Wheels where it's something completely different and extravagant and couldn't be found in the base game. It's quite similar in kind of tone to the base map. However, after having played for kind of the first 30 minutes or so, I started to realise that the road design itself is incredibly different. So in the main game, the base map, you'll struggle to find really technical winding tracks to race on. It's very much kind of straight roads, high speed, occasional kind of right-hand bends, but very fast racing. Whereas in the DLC they've really taken the rally theme to heart, and it's very technical, winding, tight turns and tracks constantly, as you would find in a proper rally event. So you'll find lots of hairpins, having to put the handbrake on and throw the back end out, and just very enjoyable technical racing. So the racing itself is really fun. You have the setup of the DLC, of kind of the story mode, is there's 3 different factions. I forget what they're all called now, but there's 3 different factions. You race for each of them. You can choose which order you do them in, but they're all fairly similar in that you do races, and there's the usual activities on the map, such as speed cameras, drift zones, that type of thing, which relate to each of the factions. And you go through a series of 8 races for each faction. You then unlock that faction's kind of boss race, and once you've done all 3 of the boss races, you unlock the Goliath race, which is the big race that's found in most Horizon DLCs and main games, which takes you around the whole map basically, and that's kind of the finale of the game. So each faction is slightly different in your racing. So one of them you will be doing very traditional daytime rally races down kind of dirt tracks, as you would kind of traditional rally dirt and gravel tracks. One of them you will be doing races on tarmac, but it's still the very technical winding roads and things, so you probably won't want to be using the kind of supercars that you've been using in the main game. And the other one, the third one, is it's back on kind of off-road dirt tracks, but it's at night and it tends to be kind of worse weather, so like lashing rain and that type of thing, and there's lots of neon lights all over the place. So that's quite exciting and quite fun. I did find that a little bit harder to kind of drive effectively, because you don't have the braking line or anything, and it's dark and there's rain lashing everywhere. It's a bit harder to kind of spot where to brake, but it's a lot of fun, and I did start getting used to it. So on the drone front, one tip I would give. So in the base game, I was unless I wanted to try a specific car, I generally go for the faster cars, like the S1, S2 cars when I was doing the racing events, just because it's quite fun to drive faster cars. And especially in the base map, it was useful to have a faster car. So I did the same on this. Started out with kind of a souped up Subaru Impreza and was whizzing along. But what I found is, it's actually, if you're struggling to kind of get the wins with the faster cars, it might actually be worth dropping down. I dropped down to an old Ford Escort rally car and just kind of leveled up to the B level, so a lot slower, and I found it was so much easier to drive, because you can control the car and get the back end out in a more controlled manner. You've got more time to think, and I was annihilating the computer then, so I ended up bumping the difficulty up with when I was using that car, and I just found it more enjoyable and easier to control and bounce around the corners. It just felt as if I was doing a better job effectively. So that's a little tip if anyone's struggling with the faster cars. Just drop down to an A or a B class and you'll probably find it a bit easier. In terms of the cars, there's a handful of cars in the DLC. I'm not sure exactly how many, but I would say it's not great from my point of view. There's a few rally cars you unlock, true rally cars you unlock early on, and then it's mainly racing trucks and things and buggies, and I'm not sure why they've done that, because in my opinion none of the events lend themselves to racing trucks or buggies apart from some of the finales. So I just found myself not using them anyway. I don't know why they didn't just release a lot more kind of legacy rally cars as part of the offering, but there you go. It is what it is. I found myself, it was quite a good excuse to go back through my car collection or browse through the kind of main games car shop and buy some old kind of legacy rally cars. Like I bought the Subaru Impreza, and what else did I buy? I can't remember what else I bought. Oh, the old Audi Quattro rally car, and did both of them up and kind of used them for a lot of the races. All in all, I'd say it's a very good package, but it depends what kind of racing you enjoy. If you are a pure arcade racer, don't want to have kind of technicality coming into your racing, don't have to want to worry about your braking points and things too much, this may not be for you. If you're someone that plays games like rally games or games like Forza Motorsport as well as Forza Horizon and wants a little bit more technical racing, and that's something you were looking for from Forza Horizon, I'd say this is the perfect DLC for you. It's very grounded, it's back to kind of nuts and bolts racing, so you can obviously judge for yourself if that's something that you think you'd like. In terms of length, I've played through all of the main story, and there's a lot of extras left to do that I might go back and polish up to get the achievements. But so far, I can't tell exactly because it's got all of my my base game time on the Xbox thing, so I can't tell. But I think it's somewhere between 6 and 8 hours, so it took me to play through. So it's a decent length, and if you want 100% it, it's at least 10 hours. So yeah, all in all, I would recommend, unless you're someone that really doesn't like kind of the more technical racing games. Okay, so thank you for watching. Just a few quick thoughts for you there. I hope that kind of helps you make up your mind or not whether it's worth getting. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. Now on to the next one.